So what makes making these fittings so enjoyable is having the correct tools. The Phenix Industries adjustable AN tools are freaking awesome. These things make installing this really easy, especially because it's really like precise. It's not like kind of all over the place. Some of the adjustable wrenches, like this one I got from Harbor Freight, right? It's cool, but the tolerances aren't very tight on them, so they end up moving, and then you end up dinging up your fittings that you just spent like $10 a piece on. So if you think about it, these are really worthwhile investment. They're nice to have, and the investment in the future too. You're not just going to use them one time. You're going to use them over and over and over again. And there you have it. Let's go test fit it. Ooh, looking good so far. Nice. All right. Oh yeah. Sick. One down. Just realized that I actually couldn't do many more lines back there because I don't want to move forward without having the correct things in place. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this little guy in here. Just buttoning up small parts of the build that I kind of bypassed because they were easy. Once I pull everything apart, I can go ahead and put some Teflon tape on there, but for now, at least I know that it is together. Alright, so what I'm thinking is, although I can't actually make these lines, what I can do is mock them up and see how they're going to be going together. I'll take this to the front of the car and see how it's going to bolt up. So I actually went and got the fitting from the front of the car and put it onto the hose. I just lubed it up real good and it slides right on, which is good to know because now I can mock all these fittings up on my own before taking them to G&J and getting them crimped on. So this collar obviously goes on, and then that's the thing that's going to be crimped on there. But this is good for my lengths because I can actually cut all my lengths here at the house, take these to them, and then they can crimp them on. Yeah. Pumped on this. So what you're looking at is replacement product from the products that were stolen from me last week. Massive thank you to Paul from Injector Dynamics and Aaron from Full Function Engineering for helping me replace these parts that are not so easily replaceable. They're very expensive and a massive part of the build. Also wanted to say huge thanks to my buddy Jordan Martin for sending me his spare stuff so that I could mock it up on the car to take care of other aspects of the build that were time sensitive. When you're dealing with a build that takes a lot of parts, it's important that things show up on time so that you can properly take care of other aspects of the build that are going to equate to the end product. So thank you guys so much for helping me take care of this. I promise you I won't let you down. I'm going to keep building this car, making it the best that I can. All right, we got a delivery in. I'm pumped. Been looking for this little guy. It's going to go right here. To complete that line up to the front, just like that. Let's go make the line. Nice, nice, nice. So I got the upper line on, built, all ready to go, oriented. This is a little bit messy right here, but as soon as I get my little cable connectors, it's just gonna look really, really nice. So just gonna go just right around something like that, nice and smooth. These are also going to be routed in a fixed position once I get all done, but for now this is exactly how it's going to go. I wasn't exactly happy with the vacuum setup. I had a lot of these fittings on here. These are awesome. These are beautiful fittings. They're swivel, -3 with 1/8 NPT. It's a 90-degree fitting, but what I wanted to do was try to conserve a little of the space and then keep it a little bit cleaner than it was. So it was a little bit bulky there with all these little fittings on there. So I went ahead and got some of the banjo fittings instead, and I actually like it a whole lot better. It's going to make things a little bit easier on install and or maintenance just because it's a 10mm head. 10mm socket, which is in my hand, right here. And for me, that's a lot easier. And time or space constrained, I can't even say that right now. Space constrained or constraint. Yeah, that's right. With space in mind, you know, the banjo head is going to be a lot smaller than the actual Dash 690 fitting here, this 1/8 MPT. So if you can see, if you look at the overall size difference, the banjo is going to be significantly smaller, doing the exact same job with a simpler setup, which also is going to be a little bit easier on the maintenance aspect because it's a 10mm head, opposed to having an Allen wrench get in there. And when you stack all these together, yes, they do fit, but you're not going to tighten them unless you take off all of them from right to left if you have an issue with one all the way to the left. So with the banjo head and the regular 10mm bolt, it's going to be a lot easier for me to maintain and or work on whenever I want to. So that's why I'm going this route. So just about bettering yourself, even though it's a little bit harder to redo something. Really, you're not redoing it, you're just upgrading it if you have the means to do it and the time. Yes, I'm under a whole lot of time pressure right now to make my first event, but for me, it's more important to make the car 100% right and then never touch it again, rather than rushing it, not being happy with the end product, making the first round, things not going correctly, me having to rush and, Mickey Mouse this and that to make it work. That's just not what I'm about and not how I want to portray myself as a builder as well. So that's why I'm going with the banjo heads. So those should be in soon, but for now, just mocking them up. And what else can we do? Oh yeah, I'm going to fix the rest of the lines right now and see how it looks. All right, not bad, right? These are a little long, so I'm going to have to trim those down or drill out the inside. It's a little shallow for the socket, but that's okay. That's going to work. So there's a reason why I kept this one fitting the way that it is in particular. That's actually the map reference to the ECU. And the reason why I went with an actual bent 90 right here is because it's really important to not alter or inhibit that reference or that vacuum signal at all. Like, you really want this vacuum signal to be as smooth and uninhibited as possible. These ones, yes, these are still going to work fine. They're okay. It's not massively important that these are a little bit less flow than this one. This is a Dash 4 bent 90 high flow PTFE all the way into the cabin, and then it switches to the 1/4 inch hose barb that goes to the ECU. That signal, if it ever gets messed up, is going to really give me a bad time. It's going to make tuning the car harder. The car is not going to know, or the ECU is not going to know what to do with air, and pretty much that signal is pretty much everything that the ECU uses in order to work on the tune. Yes, there is a slightly different type of tune that we do use, but I'm not going to get into that much. We have a map/TPS based tune which merges both signals, but for the most part, a lot of people just use map. This here, these banjos are referenced. This is fuel pressure, and when I say that the signal is inhibited, it's not inhibited a lot. I just wanted to go the extra route and make sure that this signal for the map was 100% good. Fuel pressure is technically just as important, which may end up making me change my mind and changing this to an actual 90 as well, but I think it's actually okay. It's going to work fine. These banjos flow real well, and a good way to test that is literally you take this fitting off, and you just blow into it. And if it's nice and easy and it feels like it's smooth, then realistically, that's the same exact thing it's going to be doing when it's under pressure. Yes, 18 PSI, 20, all the way up to 30 is a lot more than what you can probably blow, maybe. I don't know. But you just want to make sure that path is uninhibited to an extent. So, yeah, compromise here and there, but realistically, this should work just fine. And at the end of the day, realistically, all of these banjos should even work for a map signal. I just wanted to go this route just because. Oh my God, look at this disaster. I don't want to throw away any of the boxes because I use a lot of the stuff to start the fire inside the house. The plastic and stuff I can throw away, but the trash can recyclable thing is full, so I don't want to just throw it in the trash, so I'm going to hold on to it. Oh well.